hello, I'm Kråkan, also known as Chorus Cornix, and welcome to Yacc, yet another Crowcast where I pick a game I played for a week and then I talk about it. This week's game is Quake 2 for the Nintendo 64. It was released in 1999. It's a first-person shooter developed by id Software and published by Activision, and also be some spoilers up ahead just so you know, but first a little backstory. So this was a game I had as a kid, and I never beat it actually. And funny story, my brother actually did. And it's because of him I'm actually playing this game this week, because he needed some money and I was wanting to procure a gaming console, and he had the Nintendo 64. So we argued or talked it over forward and backwards, and he said, well, it's better that you have the console because at least it will be played on. So the plot of this game is the same as the PC version. You're this elite single force space marine in to save the day from an alien threat called the Strogg, which are basically these cybernetic demon creatures. So at the start of the game, a bunch of text will appear, and I kid you not, it covers the entire screen. And then the Quake 2 logo will appear full of enemies firing at the screen. And if you wait a bit, you get a small demo, in fact a couple of demos. And then you get the option between pushing start and getting into the options. So you play as Viper, or at least that's the default name given to you, but you can change it in the options. And there are a couple of other things you can do as well. There are a couple of control schemes you can switch between, character models and colors. And while you start a new game, you can also switch between two modes, which is single player and multiplayer. And multiplayer, I could technically play because I have 4 controllers, but I'm all alone, so that's pointless. But when you start a match in multiplayer, as soon as something starts moving or shooting, it's just lags. But if you pick single player, you can choose between the difficult setting of easy, medium, and hard. And the game also prompts you to put in a rumble pack if you have one of those. So the first level of the game is the Strogg outpost. So it starts with Viper dropping down from the sky and lots of explosion because, yes. And the first gun that you have is the blaster. It has unlimited ammo, but you can also pick up the super shotgun, the shotgun, grenades, grenade launcher, railguns, rocket launcher, and the BFG. There are probably more guns that I forgot about, but there are a lot of guns in this game. So the first level teaches you the basics of the game, such as, health pickups are blue. You can also pick up armor, you can find secrets because it's a Quake game after all. So one of the first secrets that you can actually find in the first level is the double-barreled shotgun. So once you beat the stage, you get the overall time, kills, and how many secrets that you found. And you also get a password, and you get the ability to save to your controller pack, which is kind of stupid actually, because you get a password anyway, so why store it on a controller pack? It's one of those things with the Nintendo 64, didn't have any built-in storage. And another thing that I by accident actually discovered this week is that enemies can accidentally fire upon one another by mistake, and it's hilarious. And now it's time for the central complex. So I need to find some explosive charges, and also picked up some combat armor and grenades. And enemies of this game range from soldiers to cybernetic monstrosities. And also, if you die for any reason, you can always restart the mission without any penalty whatsoever. And this game is not that long, it has 19 levels. And of course there are hidden power-ups that you can pick up throughout the levels, such as adrenaline, invisibility, power amplifiers, the silencer, which is kind of pointless, environmental suit, and the mega health. There are probably more, but these were the ones that I could find. And now it's time for the intelligence center. So you blast through the enemies, you open doors, you jump through some green lasers, and you pick up a disc. The next level is the communication center, where you upload set disc, and it goes on like this. It's basically a shooter game. So the upcoming level is called Orbital Defense, which has some displaced gravity fields due to a generator. Then you have the docking station, you have the Strogg freighter, and you have the cargo bay, and the list goes on. But the point of the game is more or less the same. You deal with the enemies, you complete the objectives of the levels, which basically leads to blowing up stuff, or it's very simple, it's Quake. So gameplay. The Stroggs, a cybernetic race hell-bent on conquering Earth, and you're the only one in the way. Control, the D-pad is movement, L and R is jump, A and B changes weapons, and the C button fires. But you can change between the different controller modes in the options, but it's actually a bunch of controller options ranging from A to F, but I couldn't find a single one that I actually liked. Graphics. So the graphics are jagged, but it says tone. It reminds me of 40K or Necromunda. It has that vibe to it. It doesn't look amazing, but it sets the mood. Sound and music. Aubrey Hedges made a soundtrack for this game. It's also called Racer. So the soundtrack consists of ambient droning dread. And it's very hard to tell the tracks apart actually, and I can't remember a single track on top of my head. Easter egg, secrets, and glitches. So this game demands that you have the Nintendo 64 expansion pack to even run. It's also compatible with the memory and rumble pack. And I also watched a YouTube video on a guy actually 100% in the game. It wasn't exactly a speed run, but it was kind of interesting, picking up all the secrets and killing all the enemies and getting as good time as possible. 1 hour and 43 minutes by Green Link. So in conclusion, I wrote no, play the PC version instead. So this port feels really clunky and the control is super awkward. And I didn't have fun. I tried to get used to the control scheme, and I even got a retro brawler for the Nintendo 64, which is a really nice controller, really high-end one. And I couldn't make it work with that either. So it's not me that's the problem. It's not me that's the problem. That's funny. But I can recommend you to play the original Quake 2 for the PC or the enhanced version that's on the PS5 or Xbox. Those versions are really good. So yeah, anyway, thank you for listening and or watching, and take care.